Hi, folks. Welcome to Teleport Connect Virtual. My name is Shin Ding. I'm the VP of Product here at Teleport. And today I'll be talking a little bit about a new product that we're launching called Teleport Identity. Over the past couple of years, there's been a notable shift in the landscape of cyber attacks and compromises. Traditional malware and security breaches have taken a back seat, giving way to a prominent focus on infiltrating and compromising legitimate user accounts through social engineering, credential theft, and phishing. In order to combat this change, we've come out with a product called Teleport Identity, which is really a three-pronged approach to um, uh, addressing identity-based attacks. The first way, the initial focus, is really about systematically diminishing the attack surface. The second aspect involves vigilantly monitoring for weak access patterns. And as a final line of defense, we give users the ability to rapidly respond to threats and swiftly lock out compromised accounts and associated activities so that we halt lateral movement. And without further ado, let's take a look at the product and the functionalities that kind of support this three-pronged approach. So here we have developer Dave, who's logged in to his teleport cluster. And the first thing that he may notice is that there's not many resources that he has access to by default. So he only really sees four resources, and they're all dev environment resources. So these are development resources. He doesn't have default access to any production resources. Great. That's kind of the first way that we're reducing attack surface. What is the how do we, further enhance this? Well, the second way is we have something called device trust, which means if enabled, only uh, devices that have been enrolled in a registry that is considered safe, so trusted devices. Only these trusted devices that are enrolled can access infrastructure resources. So in this case, if Dave tries to access this SSH server, he actually will see that even though he can see it, even though he can try to access it, he actually won't be able to. And that's because this device that he's using is not a trusted device. So let's go ahead and enroll Dave's workstation as a trusted device and see how that and see what that does. So I'm gonna hop over to my admin account. And what I'm doing right now is I'm enrolling Dave's workstation. All right, there we go. So now, as you can see here, we've enrolled Dave's MacBook as a trusted device. This is on my admin Annie account. And if we hop over now to Dave's view, he'll be able to access these resources. So because he's enrolled his workstation as a trusted device, now when he tries to access this SSH server, he's able to. Great. So that's kind of the first way, trusted device. That's how that's one of the ways that we, reduce attack surface. So throughout Dave's job, have he might actually need access to resources beyond dev resources. Examples of this include maybe Dave is on call and needs to access production resources to address an outage, or maybe Dave's on a support rotation and he actually needs production access for the next 2 weeks in order to handle support cases and resolve, customer requests. So, how does Dave gain access to production resources temporarily? Well, he can go ahead and request file an access request to these resources. So let's say Dave needs access to this particular production resource. Please give me access as I'm on a 2 week support rotation. Submits the request. Great. Let's hop over again to our admin view to see what this request looks like and see what can be done to this request. So here we're back in the admin Annie view, and we see that Dave, about 10 seconds ago, requested access to this resource. And the reason is he's going to be on a 2-week support rotation. So for admin Annie, she really has three actions she can take. She can reject a request. She can approve short-term access. So this is probably something like if you need, if you're going to be on call, or if you have very short, you need like access for less than 8 hours in order to address an issue. In this case, because Dave is going to be on a support rotation, as mentioned here, we're actually going to approve a longer term access for Dave through the use of access lists. So here we'll add Dave to the support team, um, and Annie will put promoting request to support team access list, as they will be on a support rotation for the next 2 weeks. Cool. So we'll submit this and let's take a look at what it looks like on Dave's side once this access request has been approved. All right. So Dave's access request has been approved, and now Dave actually sees more resources. So he sees, for example, this is the resource that he had requested access to. So now let's try to access the production resource. Great. So Dave has temporary production access. So so far, just a quick summary of everything that you've seen. By default, when Dave logged in, he gets very little access, only access to development environments. And then the second thing that we saw today was device trust. So essentially, initially, Dave did not um, enroll his workstation as a trusted device in this teleport cluster. Therefore, when he tried to access this SSH server, he was denied access. So we fixed that by enrolling Dave's workstation as a trusted device in teleport. The third thing that you saw was Dave is going on a support rotation, and he actually needs access to production resources. So he went through an access request workflow, and Annie, the admin, saw that request, not only approved it, but also promoted Dave to the support team so that he gains a little bit elongated access for his in order to support his 2-week rotation. And that's what you saw. That's how we were able to get access to these production resources. So this is all within the realm of reducing attack surface. Now let's move on and let's take a look at how teleport identity helps admins actually monitor access and identify weak access patterns. So we'll hop over once again to our admin Annie account, and we'll see this access monitoring tab under management. So we actually provide two types of different two tabs here. So one is built-in reporting. So right now we have this privileged access report. We have some other reports that are coming soon. And the second way is actually query editor, which means you can write your own queries. So if we look at this privileged access report, we can see a lot of things that are already baked in. This is data. These are a number of database sessions with weak security. SSH sessions with weak security, Kubernetes, long-lived certificates, long-lived tokens, root SSH sessions, system Kubernetes API calls that don't use groups. So if you're curious about how these reports are generated, you can click on this and you'll see that this is the query that we run. So if we run this query, we should effectively see the same data that we just saw in that graph. So here we go. So Merrick, 3 counts, and Bob, 1 count over the past week. So if we look at this, just to double check, Merrick 3, Bob 1. Great, that checks out. And let's say you want to, identify another type of access pattern. Well, you can actually write your own query. So in this case, let's say like I'm looking for people that have tried to exfiltrate, password files, or just passwords from a particular server. So I can write this query using SQL and then take a look. And we actually see that, Merrick, the previous offender, in our privileged access report, is actually also trying to exfiltrate some passwords. So, uh, as an Annie at this point, um, has been able to identify weak access patterns and write some queries and track down some very suspicious activity. So at this point, Annie is ready to respond to this threat. So we're kind of moving on to the third section, which is how does teleport identity help you respond to threats that you've already identified. So we do this through what's called session identity locks. So right now there are no locks on anything, but as we saw, we kind of identified Merrick as a problematic, individual, problematic identity. And we're actually going to go ahead and add a lock to Merrick's account. And by doing this, it actually uh, prevents Merrick from doing any more damage, from running any more queries, from accessing any more resources. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Suspicious activity detected. And then by leaving the TTL empty, this effectively is a lock that's never going to expire. And we're going to further investigate this account. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And you'll see that this was a lock on the user that was issued by the admin Annie account that never expires. And you can actually add, not only can you add locks to users, but you can also do it to entire roles or entire groups of people or specific logins or specific resources. So you can do all of these different variations of session and identity locking. So that's pretty much it. Again, to summarize, this is a new product, Teleport Identity, that we're launching. And it's a three-pronged way to address identity threats and identity attacks. So the first way is reducing attack surface. The second way is monitoring for weak access patterns. And the third way is responding to threats that you have identified. Thank you so much for your time, and let us know if you have any questions. Teleport Identity is available now, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out, and we will get that sorted out for you.